Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Mannino and Nariman Hamden, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hi, everybody. It's Michael Mannino, and welcome to Driven, its Unscripted Success podcast. Today on the podcast, we're interviewing professionals who share their experience with you, the audience, and how they got to where they're at today. And zooming from the beautiful island of Tampa Bay, Florida, we have Sara Quintero. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're at today and how you got to where you're at. We did a little bit off camera, and I'm very interested to show the audience.
So I launched a multi-vendor e-commerce site a year and a half ago. I went live with my first minimum viable product in August of 2024. Started with a couple of vendors that were my friends beta testing. And then now I'm actually grown to over 50 vendors across the nation. And my whole concept is to help independent and small businesses get more of a reach, get marketing help, get the e-commerce site. What I was explaining earlier is that I have artisans on there that could either sell their products if they're just local makers, or if they're a small independent business, restaurants, whatnot, that want extra exposure, geolocation specific, they can also promote their businesses on there. And I also have service professionals on there. I have some realtors, I have photographers. So it's kind of like an all-inclusive multi-vendor marketplace e-com for independent businesses.
Well, that's fantastic. How did you get the idea? Where did you come across this concept?
I didn't just pull it out of nowhere. I actually have experience. I owned a brick and mortar back in 2014 to 2018, and it was in South Tampa. It was a high-end consignment store. I did have some new retail, but I also carried local artisans products, candles, body butters, whatnot. And I listened to them. There's two folds. I listened to what they were saying, that they didn't want to deal with the technology. All they wanted to do was their products. They didn't have a website. And they're like, if we could just do that, or it's so expensive. But then on the customer side, I would have customers come in, and as soon as I would say that this product, this candle she was a single mother, or, she was doing this because her mother had cancer, there was a sale. And so I saw twofold. Okay, so I could help the independent makers, I wanted to. And then also the customers, there was a need for their product. They wanted to support local over corporation. So obviously I shut down my store in 2018 because I couldn't compete against e-commerce. So I had this idea, and it just stuck with me. And then obviously COVID happened, and then life happened. And then I ended up...
COVID shut down a lot of companies. It really did. It just killed a lot of people.
Yes. So it was actually good that I didn't launch it back in 2018, because it would have died too. So, I mean, there's no way that... So it was, timing was everything for me, I feel. So this little birdie on my shoulder was still there, and it kept on telling me, you got to do this, you got to do this. And so a few years ago, I started to do some market research. Went to local markets, because I'm like, is there still a need for this, for these artisans with the technology and out there? And I talked to them, and yes, there is. Cost, we still don't want to do tech. And I was like, even with all this, they're like, yeah. We don't, it's so expensive. It's so, expensive to design. The Etsy fees are so high. And so I said, okay, there is a need for this. And then I worked for an insurance tech startup for a few years to kind of get the culture of the technology startup. And then I started developing the tech stack. And then I launched went live last August. So.
Well, congratulations! That's awesome.
That's a little short synopsis.
That's a great synopsis. So your concept and how you got to where you're at. That's awesome. So, is there how do you find your clients? Like, I mean, I would, if I were you, I'd start going to what what I've noticed, there's a lot of fairs, or I don't even know what you call them. My daughter we go back to Michigan, we go to this Milford Days, and it has all the artisans, and it's some really cool stuff. And so is that where you find most of your clients?
I do. And I actually am hosting my first vendor appreciation tonight in South Tampa.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm hosting it at...
Where at? I love Tampa. What place are you holding it at?
Belo's, South Tampa. I live in South Tampa.
Nice.
So they're actually one of my vendors. They supported me as well because I go there. I have business lunches there all the time, and they're amazing. And so I asked them about a month ago. I said, look, I want to do something to appreciate my local vendors. And so tonight is our first one, and I have about 10 vendors showing up. And then it's actually correlating with the Florida Economic Development meeting. So we'll all be there tonight.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a great idea. You're bringing a lot of people together. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
If someone listening wants to get better at what you do, apparently you're in tech and that's hard to do. What tips and tricks would you give them? What suggestions would you do?
Learn, study. I read books all the time. I listen to podcasts all the time. I'm constantly, just staying up on the tech, the AI, and what is the newest and the latest. I seek out mentors. I'm a part of Women in Tech and Entrepreneurship. So I'm involved in networking groups. And there's so much out there and so many people, which we're very lucky in Tampa Bay community and with our tech community and the business community, that so many people will help, but you have to ask and you have to put yourself out there, which I know a lot of individuals are scared of that, which I kind of was at first. I had imposter syndrome, I will admit, back when I had my boutique. And I was like, if I'm going to do
imposter syndrome?
Yes.
Really?
I did. I felt like I shouldn't have been there and had my store. And I was like, what? So this time around, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be so proud that I did this and put myself out there and not be afraid. And it's nice. Yeah. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. You don't seem like that kind of person. Huh? That's why I'm doing the podcast.
Nice. Good. Step out. Enjoy. It's a lot of fun. So you're talking about podcasts. What is some podcast or a book that's changed your life or changed your outlook on business?
Oh.
Ooh, I know. And I got to file it down.
I mean, you should have prefaced that. I would say Napoleon Hill. I listened to him when I started to do this. His podcast, I found him on YouTube, and I would just run or walk on Bayshore and just listen to what he said, and what he said back in the 1940s. It still resonates now. And then I would also have to say that let's see, what was the latest one that I did? Cody Sanchez. She's amazing. Huge. Like, I love how intelligent and how just forthcoming, and she wants to support everybody to be in business and own a business. So those two have been very influential to me.
Yeah, I like Napoleon Hill and How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's yes. one of my favorite books too.
Yes. I have a whole section right here that I look at, and sometimes I go back to where I highlighted.
Nice.
Bookcase right here.
Nice. What's the best way to just say this? What is a skill or habit that you do that doesn't get enough credit out in the business world?
I would say networking or putting one foot in front of the other. I mean, I'm constantly out there, and I know it can be exhausting, but I'm also now seeing and reaping the benefits of it, like doing tonight or going to the markets. And I have so many people every weekend. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that I'm taping markets, and I'm not just doing outreach. I'm supporting them, because I'm not just going to say, oh, I own this company and I support markets. No, I'm going to be in there learning from them and talking to them and supporting them as well, because that's just, I'm not a fraud. So I think that's a big one. It can be tiring, but it's also very beneficial because people are seeing my face. And then the individuals are also talking, because I wanted human-centric business, e-com site. And so that's pretty much, it's exciting, but it's a lot.
It is a lot. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Any kind of business is a lot. If you had one nugget of advice for someone wanting to follow in your footsteps, what would it be?
Just do it. Just get out there.
Jump on the horse and let's get going.
Just do it, and don't be afraid, and put one foot in front of the other, and every day do something that would
move the needle.
Yes, move the needle. Absolutely. That was something that I didn't do in the first step or my first business. And so every single day I do something that would move the needle.
Gotcha. Perfect. Sounds like things are going pretty well for you now. Thinking about the future, have you ever created or know how to create passive income?
Yes.
Something to do work with not much hands-on.
Yes. I do that on the side. I help. I help.
Do you?
I do. I have an AI e-commerce business on the side, marketing, and I can help with marketing and websites. So
really? Well, maybe we'll talk after the show. So that's awesome. We do real estate investing. So yeah, I'd love to talk to you about that afterwards. As we're wrapping up the interview, what exciting plans you got for the next 6 to 12 months? What's on the horizon for you guys?
Scaling globally.
Ooh, going big? Go big.
I want to go global. Right? Go big or go home.
Nice. You're gonna go big with a big pocketbook. That's how it works. The world's a big place. If you can do that.
And I have actually have some vendors that are interested. They were interested in joining before the tariff situation, and so they're a little afraid right now because of
that'll all blow over at one point.
Yeah,
either people get used to it, and then the tariffs will come down.
Yeah. So they're afraid. And then, so I still have their contact. One's in Amsterdam, and I think one is was in Spain that reached out to me. And then I have a developer that I have worked with over, and he's in France. And so I'm making these connections because I don't want it just to be America. And I get their advice as well. They want to be over in America. And I'm like, well, we're come over. We're not like, and they're afraid. And I was like, it's crazy.
What are they afraid of? I mean, America's the best place in the world for business.
I guess we're scary.
We're scary. We are scary. Come over legally. That's how that works. That's really the key. Come on over legally, right?
But if they're over there selling product, I'm like, bring it on.
Right. Sell it over here. There's no reason you can't sell it over here. It's got packaging and distribution. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate Absolutely. You coming out. And if anybody would want to get in contact with you, how would they do that?
They can go to my website, which is www.karma, Karma, Chic, CHICMP, as in marketplace.com, or they can email me, info@karmachic.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for being on the podcast today, and we'll let everybody else go. Thanks. And if you guys would like to get on a marketplace that's going to be worldwide relatively soon, that's going to be awesome. I want to see you out there.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you for being on the podcast. Appreciate you, Sarah.
Absolutely.
Oh, everybody else, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and helps you out for new content coming up soon. Thanks again.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.